Why are you so unfair with yourself? Why you should consciously bound yourself just defining in which things you're interested in and which not? Maybe it is not your personal honest choice. Maybe it is all about our time. The time that obliges us to make a choice and make it fast. Else you have less chances to be a great professional, great personality. It tells us, it is just so normal, be confident, be sure. Struggle with doubts, struggle with uncertainty. And you just live with it. It is all around you. And if you have your sincere, the most sincere, almost imperceptible glimpses of desires, strange preferences that go with you from your childhood, questions of the most varied nature from the most diverse spheres of life, from the most different domains, hobbies or passions, maybe books or movies that stuck with you not because of pleasant vibe of memories, but because of genuine interest. You increasingly start to rationalize yourself. No, it doesn't work like that. You can't just engage in all of at once. It is not efficient. It is not realistic. Because what is needed is persistent concentration in your own field. Because only that way you can achieve something. This is what all of today's prominent figures preach. People whose discipline is admired by the whole world. If you are not ready to concentrate on one thing, to define your own sphere, your own calling, if you are not capable of setting yourself up like that, you'll just lose this competition. And you simply don't believe in it anymore. You don't believe that you can combine interests and preferences from different fields of knowledge. You don't believe that it will bring you any real benefit in your main pursuit. In reality, we actually have a poor understanding of what will be useful for us and what won't. You might not believe it simply because there are no such examples in our current reality. And you certainly shouldn't believe me now. That's not a point. I just want you to not rush. For you to think about it and not rush. And for now, I will just tell you what I believe in. Namely, some excerpts from reading the biographies of Steve Jobs and Einstein by the author Walter Isaacson. Actually, cool guys. I always thought of myself as a humanities person as a kid, but I liked electronics, he said. Then I read something that one of my heroes, Edwin Land of Polaroid, said about the importance of people who could stand the intersection of humanities and sciences. And I decided that's what I want to do. I like the intersection. There is something magical about that place. There are a lot of people innovating, and that's not the main distinction of my career. The reason Apple resonates with people is that there is a deep current of humanity in our innovation. I think great artists and great engineers are similar, in that they both have a desire to express themselves. In fact, some of the best people working on the original Mac were poets and musicians on the side. In the 70s, computers became a way for people to express their creativity. Great artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were also great at science. Michelangelo knew a lot about how to acquire a stone, not just how to be a sculptor. Music was no mere diversion. On the contrary, it helped him think. Whenever he felt that he had come to the end of the road or faced a difficult challenge in his work, said his son Hans Albert, he would take refuge in music, and that would solve all his difficulties. The violin thus proved useful during the year he lived alone in Berlin, wrestling with general relativity. He would often play his violin in his kitchen at night, improvising melodies while he pondered complicated problems. A friend recalled. Then, suddenly, in the middle of playing, he would announce excitedly, "I've got it." As if by inspiration the answer to the problem would have come to him in the midst of the music. "Why are you specializing in physics, Bernard?" his colleague asked Einstein one day. instead of feels like medicine or even law? Because, Einstein replied, I have even less talent for these subjects. Why shouldn't I at least try my luck with physics? And even so, last Einstein's part wasn't so close to the topic of the video. I just want to say that we all have the right before ourselves to do what we want. Isn't it just unfair that you just lose it? Come on, you have the chance, you have this life, you have your own point. Isn't it just a common sense?